What's going on, guys? Lucky Lag 360 here, back with Out of the Park Baseball 2021 with a brand new franchise as we're wrapping up the Arizona Diamondbacks franchise. Gotta get a new one out here because all my other series are dual franchises, so I just want to do one myself when they can't record and get some extra content out there for you guys. So we're going to be doing the Los Angeles Angels. And not a lot of people know, but that was my team growing up. I grew up in that area. I watched them every day. They were my team early, mid, and late 2000s. I was all over them, and they were truly a great team during that time too. So we are going to try and return them to a decade of greatness again as we enter the 2020s, starting off the season in 2020. Doing a full season. We're not going to do the shortened. I really don't like 60 games. It's pretty bad. I hate that. If I wanted to be realistic, I would do it, but I don't really care about realism. This is about making the Angels great again, and we're going to make it happen. So I'm going to name my GM Bill Stoneman because he was the GM during most of the Angels' success from the early 2000s on. So he's going to be the general manager. And we'll just pick a random year here and random month, date. And we are going to be the Los Angeles Angels. Now, the Angels have some problems. The first problem is their owner. Very controlling owner. I wonder if the game has that. Yes, very demanding. And a lot of the bad moves that the GMs have made since Moreno took over the team have been because of Moreno. Josh Hamilton, C.J. Wilson, Albert Pujols, Vernon Wells. These are some of the deals that Moreno really pushed for. And at first, the players he wanted to get actually worked out. Vladimir Guerrero was one of them. Kelvin Escobar. Escobar didn't necessarily work out. I mean, when he was healthy, he pitched well, but he was injured a lot during that contract. So Moreno's a very demanding GM, and that's part of the reason the Angels have kind of had a swinging door with their general managers and managers ever since Scioscia left. So he wants us not to suck completely this season, upgrade at first, sign Simmons to an extension, and keep building our team up in order to reach the playoffs in the next 5 seasons. And I want to win now. I don't want to wait with this team. This team needs to win now, and I understand we might have to rebuild this year, but I really want to win now. And honestly, now's the time because the Rangers and Mariners are total trash, and the A's and Astros are mediocre. So this is the time for the Angels to really take advantage of this opportunity. Now, with our rotation, we kind of have a crazy situation here. Let me turn on oh, you know what? I'm going to have to switch here and go to, manager and GM. And we'll have to do that because it won't let me control the team. I'm going to set the promotions and minor league personnel to my assistant GM because I don't want to mess with that. But pitching is a total crapshoot for this team. First off, we're not doing the opener follower crap. I'm not into that. I know a lot of people like that, it has had some success, especially with the Rays, but I'm not into it. Now, our rotation's pretty interesting. Obviously, in real life, this rotation quickly failed. Dylan Bundy was the only bright spot. Ohtani was instantly hurt. Heaney always gets hurt. Tehran was horrible. Absolutely horrible. I mean, just trash. I mean, his ERA was like in the 10s, I believe. It was ridiculous. Dylan Bundy was the success story for the Angels last year. He pitched really well. And then you have Patrick Sandoval, who I believe went through some injuries. I'm not too sure how he did actually this year. But that is not going to be our rotation for very long. Obviously, we're going to have Ohtani, hopefully, throughout the year, healthy and pitching well. But we can always just switch him to hitting. Completely just abandon pitching. It depends how this game treats him. Obviously, he's still got high ratings right now. So, it's not terrible. It's not great, though. So, I don't know how he'll do. But, yeah, it's going to be rough. Now, hitting-wise, I mean, the dude had a down year this year, but in 2 MLB seasons, he's got 40 home runs, averaging about 285 with a 350 average on base, I believe. So he's not bad in terms of hitting. Pitching, he pitched in 2018 just fine, but he just has not been able to come back and pitch. So I'm really curious how this will work. Hopefully it works out. I'd love to have him on the team. Now, Barrera is an interesting guy, Jaime Barrera. He came up in 2018 and had a great year for the Angels at age 21. He was awesome. They were really excited about him. And then 2019 was just a total crapshoot for him. I don't know what happened, but a 9 ERA in AAA and a 6 ERA in the MLB, nothing was working for this guy. And before that, he had never had a bad season except for in rookie ball with the Orem Angels. So I'm hopeful that we could use him. He's only 23 years old. He doesn't have much service time, only a year and 37 days. He has a minor league contract right now. He doesn't have an injury history, so he's a possibility. And I believe there's one other guy that was used in the rotation. Was it Ramirez? Yes, it was. It was JC Ramirez. In 2017, after he bounced around with a couple teams prior to that, 2017, he had 24 starts, and he was actually pretty good. I don't know if that was an opener situation, because, it looks like he has, a relief background. He hadn't started before that. I'm not too positive on that. But, he won 11 games, so I doubt it. So, I guess he was a full-time starter. Yeah, he put in 147 innings, so 24 starts, 4 ERA. That's not great, but he had a good year. And then it just the same thing with Barrera that happened with Ramirez. Comes back a year later and has a 9 ERA, and then goes down to the minors and has 6 ERA. Now, last year in 5 games, 8 innings, small sample size, he had a 4 ERA, but that's another guy that we could potentially move up to our rotation. Now, Mike Mayers, I know, was used in the bullpen a lot for the Angels this year. Has some history with the Cardinals, did okay, struggled a couple years. Really, we gotta get some outside help. And I'm thinking that a good team to get some pitching from is the Phillies. Now, obviously, they don't have the best pitching situation, but potentially we could trade for Zach Wheeler or Aaron Nola, or maybe even Jake Arrieta if we're making a postseason run for it. I know Arrieta is not the best, but possibly. And then also for bullpen help, David Robertson, Tommy Hunter. So I definitely want to see what the Phillies are willing to give up at the deadline if we somehow have a shot at contending. Now, the game really seems to favor the Angels because in every franchise I've done, the Angels get off to a really solid start. They are great for the first half, and then they just fall off. They lose tons of games. So I'm hoping that's the case here, because then I can make some moves at the deadline that really solidify this team and we can go all the way. Additionally, we have Felix Pena on the DL, who's a starting pitcher. He's been solid for the Angels, and Griffin Canning, who they're really excited about. He's 23 years old. He's been okay for them as well. Hitting-wise, this team. The bright spots, Mike Trout, obviously, David Fletcher, and Anthony Rendon, and Simmons. Downsides are Pujols, Walsh, Upton, Castro, and the bench. The bench is trash. So, Tommy La Stella is a solid bench player, though. Man, I don't think many people know this. 16 home runs in 2019 in 80 games. 300 at-bats. Unbelievable. Just had a breakout year for the Angels. So, he's been solid for them. But I wonder where he got his power from. That's just like, the dude never hit. He literally got more hits in his career. Let's see, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. He literally got more home runs in his career in 2019 than his entire career prior to that, including the minor leagues. That's a little weird. But somehow he developed power. I don't know how. Who knows? Upton's been trash, though. We're going to have to get rid of this contract. This is a bad, bad deal. It was great when he was in Arizona. Ever since he left Arizona, he has just been nothing but disappointing, to say the least. And really, he's kind of just a failed prospect, because his best year was 2009 when he hit, 300 with 26 home runs. He hasn't done that since. He's never come close to that. Home runs, yes, but average, 260, 70, 250, 240, 270, 240, 270, 250, and then 215. Not good. So, he's put out some decent numbers, but not great. Brian Goodwin's another one. Former Washington National. Had little power. He had some good power numbers in the minors, but again, 17 home runs just out of the blue. A little strange, but Goodwin's a good backup outfielder. Hermosillo, I'm not a fan of. I don't like him very much. Taylor Ward, same. Good minor league numbers, not translating to the MLB. Max Stassi is probably my favorite catcher that the Astros traded, though 2019 was rough for him. He was a great hitter until he played full-time. Once he played full-time, his average tanked, and yeah, .71 with the Angels last year. But we'll see what he can do. Jason Castro, former Astro as well, isn't that great of a hitter either. So, but yeah, definitely let me know if you have any suggestions on this team. We're going to start uploading this series, and hopefully you guys enjoy. Be sure to subscribe and like if you haven't already. Thanks for watching.